Hi guys, it's Emily from Novell Novels and welcome to today's video. This is new releases I'm excited about 2023. Thought I better add the 2023 bit because I swear I've done this video before. But I thought I would talk about, I think I've got 11 titles that I'm really excited about, and I've got some books that are coming out in paperback that are going from hardback to paperback. One of my books actually in that 11 is going to hardback from hardback to paperback, but it's one I'm super excited about, so I decided to include it. Now, some of these books I know more about than others, and I don't want this video to be too long and rambly. I'm not very technical, so I haven't got the pictures of the covers of each of the books right near me, and I can't add them up in the corner like everyone else can. I don't know how to do that. Don't know if I can do it on Storygraph. On iMovies. I need to learn how to be better at technical. My partner Chris has now got a YouTube channel about slot machines, and he's learning how to be technical, and he's far better at me, and even though I've been doing this job nearly 4 years now. So in the thumbnail you would have seen a couple of pictures of the covers of some of these books, but I've got the details like the title, the author, the release date and the genre, and a little one line, a little bit about it, what I know a little bit about them. I'm going to try and do this in date release. So starting at the one that's coming out the soonest and then going from there. But again, you know me. You know how bad I am at being organised, and I've got my notes, so I will be looking down quite a bit. So I think the first book, and I've not written it in the right... First book that I know that's coming out soon, and that is coming out on the 16th of February. So this might have been released already by the time this video goes live, because I cannot remember for the life of me when I'm putting this up. And that is the first in a new series that Alison Weir is writing, or is writing at the moment, and that is Elizabeth of York, The Last White Rose. Like I said, that's coming out in paperback on the 16th of February. I know it's already out in hardback, but I decided that all of the 6 Tudor Queens books I've got in paperback, so I'm going to collect the next lot in paperback. Now, the first book in this series is about Henry VIII's mother, Elizabeth of York. And basically, this is historical fiction. It's about when she is torn between the Tudors and the it's basically like the War of the Roses, basically. Yeah, it's a princess born between two families. So, if you've read a lot of... the most I know about this is from what I've read of Philippa Gregory's books. And she had the White Princess and the White Queen. I think Elizabeth of York is the White Princess in that book. And if you remember, Henry VIII's mother is Elizabeth of York, and she comes from a descendant, which is, I think, if I can remember, Lady of the Rivers. If you remember, that's how Elizabeth of York's mother. So this is really multi-generational. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alison Weir takes this story and her story. Because we already know that Elizabeth of York marries Henry's father, who is Henry VII, I believe. And I think she was kind of pushed into it, and she was also torn between her uncle, and there was rumours about the incestuous stuff on that. That's what I know from that side. So this is a book that I know my mum's getting me for my birthday, and I'm really, really excited about. I can't wait to collect this, but I will be waiting for them in paperback. And just to let you know that the hardback copy of the next in the series, which is Henry VIII, The Heart and the Crown, is released on May the 11th. So that's how I've connected those two. And I believe that is something a book that I really am looking forward to. And that's Henry VIII's story, because obviously the 6 Tudor Queens book that I'm hosting with the Tudor Along, we've learnt about all his wives' stories. But it'll be interesting to hear a bit more about his stories. I've not read very much about that, so that is what I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be hard waiting for that to come out in paper. So let's have a look if we've got any March releases. This is where I told you I'm not organised. I didn't write this in date order. Yes, we do. The next one is another historical fiction. You will get the hint. There are a mixture of historical fiction and contemporaries in this. They're my go-tos. And this is The What Girls Promise, which is the 8th in the series. It's by Elaine Everest. The paperback's been released on the 16th of March. I think her hardback's been released a few days earlier, but again, I don't get hardbacks. But this is going to be interesting because it's the 8th in the series, but it's actually Betty Billington story. Now, Betty Billington, if you know the rest of the Woolworths Girls series, is the manager of Woolworths, and we don't go into much about her in the rest of the series. So I think this is sort of going away from the other lead characters that were in the Woolworths Girls and centering on a different character. Elaine Everest has done this before. She did A Mother Forever, which is and that was Ruby Castleton's story. So that's the Woolworths Girls' grandmother story. So this is going to be interesting to see how she takes Billington's story. And we go right back from when we start in that book, from what I can gather, in the 1917, and that's when in the First World War, where her fiancé goes to war and doesn't come back. We know there is so much more, but it will be interesting to see how such a strong character in the other books, how she kind of resonates through this. So I can't wait to read that. I believe my mum's getting that and then giving that to me, because that is a series I'm collecting. I love those books. Now we've got another... the next book is another historical fiction book, and that is a book that's being released by our lovely Katie Lumsden, who is from Books and Things. It's The Secrets of Heartwood Hall. Now that's coming out in hardback. I really want it. I don't know if I'll wait till that comes out in paperback, but it is... Katie's one of us. She's a booktuber. She's a big booktuber. She's an author. She's been writing loads of different books. This is her first published book. It's a Victorian Gothic novel. I don't know, I really think, knowing the way she writes, it's Victorian and Gothic. That's basically two go-tos for me. And I know that she's released, I know that a few people have read the proof copies and loved it. Her copy is absolutely gorgeous. I know that book is going to be in my thumbnail because I want to support Katie and support fellow booktubers, like I support Charlie from Charles Heathcote when his books come out. I really want to support fellow booktubers. So if you like historical fiction, if you like books set in the Victorian era, if you like Gothic dark novels, then I would really think you're going to like The Secrets of Heartwood Hall. Now, for an April release, we have got a book that I am I think this is the next one actually, more excited about. Actually, no, I'll go to the next one. This is the start of April. And one of my absolute go-to favourite contemporary authors, and this is where we've got a big contemporary author. From what I can gather, we're going through a big phase in the next sort of April, May time, where a lot of contemporary books are coming out in new releases. And the next one is going to be a book I will be buying, whether I Amazon it or whether I wait for it to come in the supermarkets, because I know it will be in the supermarkets. And that is The Book Lovers Retreat by one of my favourite authors ever, Heidi Swain. Yes, Heidi Swain is rapidly getting up there as one of the best contemporary authors ever. I love her work. My mum loves her works. A lot of people that I've got, Cat from Brews and Reviews, who's loved her books. The words book, lover, retreat. Those words string together in the best title going. It is released on the 13th of April. Like I said, it's Heidi Swain. It is one of her first standalones. All of her other books are series books, but this is her standalone, and this is one she's been super, super excited about. And oh my God, so am I. It is one day in summer, one perfect setting. What can fiction inspire real life? It's got 3 lead characters: Emily, Rachel and Tori. Yes, she's got a lead character called Emily. I wonder if I inspired her. I wonder if I gave her that gorgeous name. All I know is she is a lovely author. She messages on Instagram. She is one of the kindest, best authors ever. She is an amazing writer. I've loved all her books. Her books are like hugs in the books. So to read a book about a book lover's retreat, I'm getting it. I'm buying it. I can't wait for it. Now, the next one is another one that is another my absolute favourite contemporary author of all time, and that is Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Paige Toon. Paige Toon has made us wait 2 years for this bloody book. 2 years. Normally she provides 1 book a year. Nope, she made us wait, and it is going to be well worth waiting for. It's going to be released on the 27th of April. Obviously it's a contemporary. Neither of them expected to fall in love, but sometimes life has other plans. We've got a lead character called Ren. It is a gorgeous cover. I haven't decided whether I'm putting that in my thumbnail or The Book Lovers Retreat. I will decide that so you'll see that before I've even finished recording this. It is, I believe, set in America, I think. I have been debating whether I get a signed copy. I don't know whether I get a signed copy or whether I just do a supermarket copy, because I keep all of her books. Her and Heidi Swain are books and authors that I know I will be keeping, and I can't wait for this book. It is literally one I will be buying on the day. Some of these books I may wait for. Some of them I will be buying as soon as they get released. That and the Book Lovers Retreat are definitely two that I will be getting straight away. So now we've got some books coming out in May. So on the 11th of May we've got 2 books coming out, neither of which I know a huge amount about. Let me just have a look. Yeah. So the first one is one that I'm not as excited about. It's just one that I know I've liked the author's work, and that is Between Us by Mahalie McFarlane. And that is released on the 11th of May, and it's a contemporary. Don't know much more than that. I know I've loved that author's work, and I believe her newer work is better than her older work. But the next one is one that's released on the same day, and again, this one I will pretty much definitely be getting, and I will definitely be getting that straight away. And that is The Sunrise Sisterhood by Cathy Bramley. Again, it's released on the 11th of May. It's a contemporary. It's 3 women. I think it's 3 generational women, 3 women of different generations. They're in Devon and they're finding ways to overcome their past. So the women with traumatic pasts and overcoming it together, friendships. Devon, but a lot of her books are set in Devon, so I love the way that's written in. I love her location setting, and I can't wait. The cover is amazing. It's it looks gorgeous. Cathy Bramley's recent books have got me by the bucket load. I've loved them. They're like some of my favourite books, and I'm collecting a lot of her newer books. Her older ones not so much, but her newer ones I'm definitely collecting. So that is one that I cannot wait for. Now we have got another book coming out at the end of May, and this is one I will be getting in hardback because I've got the author's other books in hardback. Excuse me. And this is Mrs. Porter's Calling, and that's by A.J. Pierce. It's the 3rd in the Dear Mrs. Bird series. It's been released on the 25th of May. It's historical fiction set around about the World War II. And this is the 3rd in the series, and it's Emmy fights back to save the magazine. So Emmy works for a magazine, and there is a new owner that comes in and tries to shut it down, and he or she charms the living daylights out of Emmy's, I think, husband, or I think the husband now, but she charms him, and I can't wait to see Emmy fight back. I loved Dear Mrs. Bird. I loved Yours Cheerfully, and I cannot wait for Dear Mrs. Porter's Calling. My mum's loved this series. Berna from Burnish Bookish Adventures has loved it. She's going to love it. We've all got to get this. It's historical fiction. Can't wait. Now I think we're on to June books now, so we're on to we've got a couple of summer books. The first one is The Summer Skies by Jenny Colgan. She's recently released the cover for this, and it's been released on the 8th of June. It's a contemporary. Jenny Colgan. I wasn't a massive fan of Jenny Colgan's earlier works. So some of these authors have been on the go for quite a while, but her newer books have got me. She's written an amazing series. But this, I believe, is the first in possibly a new series. We're meeting new characters. Again, I believe Jenny Colgan is Scottish, or she lives in Scotland. And this is set in a remote Scottish island. We've got a lead character who's got a very Scottish name. I think Morag, her name is. And it's a romance in a remote Scottish island. And it looks really, really good. It does look really good. I can't remember. I think this is coming out in hardback. I have got some of her books in hardback. I don't know how quickly I'll rush to it. But it does look really, really good. And let's have a look for the next one. Next one is another June book, and this is a book, I don't know too much again about this. This is Love Struck by Laura Jane Williams, and that is coming out on the 8th of June, and it's contemporary. This isn't the one love story, it's 2. I have got a lot of Laura Jane Williams books, although I didn't buy the Christmas book, so I don't know how quickly I'll rush to this. She's an author who wrote The Lucky Escape, and she's written quite a few other brilliant books, and I think Love Square, so we've got some quite good books of hers that I've got, so I will probably get this. I think if I get it, it might be a supermarket buy. It depends on how I'm doing, but it does look really, really good. And last but least of the new releases, like I said, I did count one, but there was, yeah, and that is a book that's coming out at the end of September. It's my only one that I've got that's coming out in the end of September, but again, it's a book I can't not say about it, and that is The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. She's not released the cover for this yet because it isn't coming out till the end of September. It's coming out in hardback. I've got all of her books in hardback apart from The Flat Share. Beth O'Leary is like a go-to author for me. Again, she's another one that I'll buy in hardback because it's well worth it. Two Sworn Enemies, A Failing Hotel, One Chance to Save the Season. So even though it's released at the end of September, it's a Christmas book, it looks like. I've read all of her books with Ange from Angie's Book Chatter. I will be reading the next one with Ange. She better do. Link you down below, and you will read it with me. We are so looking forward to that book. It's a go-to. It's one that I'm thoroughly excited about. And now some books that are going into paperback. I've not gone on all of them and I've not got the dates, but they're books that I'm excited about and I'm keeping an eye on them. They are on my Amazon wish list. There's one book that I've not written down here, and it's the next in the Amari and the Knight Brothers series. That's coming out very soon in paperback. It's out in hardback now, but it's coming out in paperback, so I will be getting that when it comes into paperback. We've got Stepping Up by Sarah Turner, who is a mother author, and I believe it's to do. She thinks she wrote something about one of the mummy books, but it does look like a really fun contemporary. That's coming out in paperback soon. A Tidy Ending by Joanna Cannon, who is one of Charlie from Charles Heathcote's favourite authors, and that's coming out in paperback soon. We've got Love Me, Love Me Not by Kirsty Capes, who wrote Careless, which is one of my favourite books of last year. That is coming out very soon in paperback. I will definitely be getting that as soon as it comes out into paperback, because even though I bought Careless in hardback, but I think the fact that I've not got to wait too long for it to come out in paperback means that I will get it, because it does look gorgeous. And then last but not least is a book that I've literally only just read, The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper, and I loved it way more than I expected. And the next in the series is coming out in paperback very soon, and that is The House with the Golden Door. My sister Charlie will be borrowing The Wolf Den, but I will be getting it back, and I am certainly going to be reading the sequel in paperback and keeping it, because I think that's a new series to keep. That book was recommended to me by Gemma from Gemma Books and Danny from Danny's Book World. Didn't think it was my jam, but I definitely can't wait to carry on that series. So those are books that I'm super excited about. I hope I've done this all right. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below, what books are you excited about that are coming out soon? I would love to hear. Are there any of these you want to buddy read with me when they come out? Are there any of these you think, get them, like pushing me to get them? Let me know down below. And I'll see you soon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.